listening to Fresh Tape.
You are listening to the Fresh Take Network.
You're listening to the Fresh Take Network.
What it is, what it do. Welcome to the Rundown. Joshua Adam Leonardo, I'm telling 60 Dangers of Devon here. It's Devon Seal.
To be Appreciation Society president, and what do you want to be, the treasurer, the secretary?
Sure. And we don't have any snow delaying the podcast this week. We had a bad snowstorm last week. I'm going to start the show off the way I intended to last week, and just that I owe someone an immense apology.
Who's somebody?
Throg, I'm sorry, I wasn't familiar with your game.
Oh, I think you're gonna apologize to me for a second. Just be like, you've never apologized for anything. Yeah, Thrag.
No,
Oh,
yeah,
Thrag
because
is a
I'll have to find the clip. I was like, what? I heard this guy was so powerful. Like, where is this? And it's like, oh, okay, you're actually a demon. Okay, cool.
the moment. So the first, I can't remember if it was Nolan or Mark who like tried to swing as hard as they could, and he just teleported like one
Yeah,
inch.
yeah.
I was like, oh, it's like
There
this
was
is some
some like,
Dragon,
you
Dragon Ball.
beat
It's
me.
Dragon.
You beat
Yeah,
me to it.
yeah, it's Dragon Ball Z shit. But then you know what? At the same time about Dragon Ball Z shit is like Dragon Ball Z knows how to do a fight.
Yeah, there was some debates if Throg could beat Superman or if he could beat Broly.
Mm-mm, mm-mm, mm-mm,
I don't
mm-mm.
think so.
Okay, so firstly, like I've actually saw this a little bit online too in Reddit. Like, firstly, power scaling for different shows is dumb. It doesn't, no one's ever
Yeah,
going to be happy. So I respect the people who choose not to do it. Uh, you just have a like, just enjoy the show and just have a fun ass time. And like, I have one kind of problem with Invincible in general, but Thrag, other than the skull,
yeah.
the emotional support skull,
He's Megatron.
Thrag, Thrag is who I thought he was.
Uh, does you know Dragon Ball more than isn't Goku more? Is Goku more powerful than Broly?
Oh my God, isn't Broly like his stepbrother or something like
Yeah,
that?
that's why I don't know. I just know some people
No,
debate that. I will
I
say,
don't
just
know.
because we're going to be a little bit shorter with the four shows here, so I just want to say this. I'm not going to talk too much about Daredevil or The Boys because I kind of don't care as much. And I will say the only shows I really care about right now, well, Invincible's done, and Maul. Like I don't really care too much about. I actually get
Invincible isn't
excited.
done, is it?
Yeah, it's done. That was the finale today. Yeah,
I thought there was 10.
I wish. I. This
Holy
is
crap.
this is maybe my favorite season of Invincible since the first
Yes.
season. Uh,
Oh,
like
easily.
like
Easily.
there's a lot stuff next year. I don't know if it'll make my most anticipated list, but I am very excited for Invincible to be back next year. Like I am very excited for Invincible to be back. Maul's
I thought
Maul's
this was the last
cooking.
season of Invincible.
No, we're only halfway. The boys is done.
Yeah, I knew the boys was. I thought they were both
No,
finishing.
we're barely halfway into the
Oh,
novel.
I'm such an idiot. I was like, oh, there's 2 episodes left. Like, this is gonna be really cool.
Uh,
Oh,
I
I'm
I
an I'm
do
dumb.
think I do think I was looking on Amazon and I might buy the book.
Really?
I was that intrigued with it this year, with this story because I thought we actually kind of just centered in, and I thought for an epilogue episode two it was pretty good as well for the most part.
Oh,
Um,
this shit was worth it. And this is the sad part is like I look back to all the ups and downs with Mark and with his friends and college life.
yeah,
Nothing's that good compared to this. Like this like not that it doesn't matter. Um, I'm really big on respecting our time, but you know what? Like, holy crap, like this shit was good this season. Like
the
I'm so happy for it.
that penultimate when fucking Thrag fucking had the demon, I was like, oh my God! There was like three or four times in that episode, I was like, shit, and even the kind of, the Hellboy. kind of filler. I thought, kind of looking back now, like I said, there was some funny stuff in that. Like I didn't really
Yeah, it was okay. It was fine. Yeah.
mind it, but I just think there's Maul and there is Invincible and there's kind of everything else. Like Daredevil's okay. There's stuff I like the episode that we didn't review last week was pretty boring for the most part. This episode this week was okay. Boys, I didn't even finish the episode before we got on here because it's pretty boring. And
I
I've
don't think you're gonna
and
you're
I
gonna like watch the last 20 minutes and you're gonna be like, I stayed up for that. Like it's
Yeah,
fine.
well, and once I mean, it's not IGN's obviously not the end all be all, but I saw some Reddit and Twitter stuff too saying it was a skippable episode, so that made
Yeah.
me kind of have some time to not want to get to it. But like, and Maul, I think is not even close to where it can get to yet. So
Maul
I
is fucking amazing.
like I'm not trying to jump all over. I know we like the essential stuff, but like she's going to be Devan's Darth Talon, I believe.
That's what everyone's saying. I don't know if it fits in the current canon. I'm not against it. I'm not against it.
Yeah.
I just don't know if it fits per se, but I'm okay with like toying with the idea of it.
And also, like with the end of that last episode, I was like, okay, so is it Vader or is it Palpatine? And then when they cut it, I'm like, you motherfuckers! I gotta wait a
So
week to see it was.
who do you think it is?
I think it's Palpatine. No, because the Inquisitors don't go to Palpatine, right? But see, that's why I was like, because at
No,
first I'm like, oh, it's
it's
Vader,
not
because
Palpatine.
the Vader
Mm,
the Inquisitors go to Vader. But then I
yes.
was like, could it be Palpatine just because it's Maul? I'm pretty sure it's Vader, but that's why I was
It
like, just because it's Maul, would that Inquisitor go to Palpatine?
um
That's the only reason I thought Sidious could
oh
potentially
damn.
be that.
Right. So the rumors is that it's Barriss Sophie
Oh,
because she's an Inquisitor, right?
mhm.
The other rumor is that it's going to be so Merrick
I've seen some
and
Merrick stuff. Yeah,
well, Merrick is already there, right?
yeah.
Who's such a fucking badass, by the way. I love like
Mhm.
evil detective version Merrick. Um, the other thing that I heard about was is it so who it was it the fifth brother or whatever who gets killed by Ahsoka in Tales of the Jedi? The guy with the long face?
Yes.
Because we know he's in the show for sure,
Mhm.
and there's only like what, 2 episodes or 4 episodes left. It makes sense. I think it's four. It makes sense that we're gonna see him before we're gonna see Vader, in my
Mhm.
personal opinion.
I would think so. I mean, they said this is gonna go like 6 seasons or something. So like we got
Easily.
well because
Oh,
like
it's
we're
so
not
good.
even near Kira, right? Like we're like 6 years away from where Kira is. So like
Yeah, a long time.
we got to get to that.
If it's even that important in, for the
Yeah.
whole grand scheme of things. But
Yeah.
I am just so actually the thing I'm most impressed of any of the shows that we're going to talk about is so firstly the choreography, which I think is I think they confirmed is motion captured.
Yeah.
The definition of the lightsaber battles in these shows are so goddamn good. Because especially with the older animation, you're kind of just working with animating like long stretches of white, right? It was like big cones that they
Yeah.
can kind of swing around. And this is literally the actual blade that they are hitting each other
Much like they
with.
did in Clone Wars.
Past that,
No, no, the
it's too
finale.
good.
The
Oh
finale.
yeah. Well,
Yeah.
yeah. It's closer to closer to the end of the Clone Wars than it is anything
Yeah.
else. But like
Yeah.
I find it so much easier to follow and appreciate the choreography of this particular show and seeing the differences. Like even for example, just when Maul was doing like his force meditation and just practicing like for no reason, like and he actually I'm pretty sure, I haven't read looked this up yet. I'm pretty sure he was copying the defensive style which Obi-Wan uses
Makes sense.
to start Form
Makes
2 and
sense.
then
Makes sense.
he did like the force grab with the lightsaber, then he did the double blade. And that's when he did all of his cool shit. But like I think he started off doing Form 2.
Yeah.
And you're right, it would make sense that he's gonna try to master uh, master the person who bested him. Love it.
Yep.
Oh, I am so interested in in Maul right now. Like the world is interesting, the crime stuff is interesting, the bringing the Empire stuff is interesting. Like
I
we're in a
like the
great spot.
dichotomy with the kid and his mom and him kind of being trapped in two worlds, right? Of like his dad is a cop, so he's taking the word of his dad, and his mom works for the Empire. And she's like, "Well, that's not what the Empire is, sweetie." So I kind of love
Yeah,
this double pendulum of what it is and the kid being posed both ways. And I would assume he would maybe go towards his mother because of the absent father side of things, but I don't know. So like that's really interested of like this kind of B-level character with the kid of kind of, and they didn't have to bombard you with anything with it. It's just like, hey,
no,
this is the plot here. It's very basic. And again, I love when we get the real life element. That's why, like, in episode 8, when Benicio del Toro's character was talking about there's two sides of the war and everything like that.
right.
And I was like, this is the movie, but you're not going to do it. But this is the movie that you should be telling
Hmm.
because that's way bigger mind subjection to kind of think about more of like, yeah, there's two people in this fight, right? Like, yeah, and one is definitely worse than the other, but the others are, bad on the side as well. And that's why I like these kind of quandaries of like for all we know, like his mom might just be like, yeah, the Empire is fine. Like they treat me really good and they give us this, this, and this. Like she could just be just in what the employer that she has. She may not know all the bad shit that's going on for the most part. We don't fucking know. Or she could just be bad and misleading her son. We don't know. I would probably say she's misleading her son, knowing the Empire, but
Not necessarily too, because we have to remember there were so many bureaucrats and government
yeah.
officials who worked in the empire, worked in the Republic
Mm.
while the empire was going on, right? Or especially because I don't know where Granix is. I want to see where it is. If you're like a mid-rim system that is um having problems with bounty hunters and war and stuff like that, like you would think that the empire is going to bring stability,
Yeah.
right? And it's kind of like, what do you think it is? It's kind of like Chicago. It's like kind of like Star Wars Chicago.
Probably a little, and then they were
Yeah, a little
told too,
Star
like,
Wars
hey, the
Chicago.
Jedi turned on us, right? They that's the message that Palpatine told them is like the Jedi turned on us.
And that's exactly what was going on, right?
Yeah,
It's all linking up together with the idea of like Order 66. The Jedi overthrew the government or whatever,
yeah,
or they're trying to overthrow the government, and then the Empire formed because of the Jedi.
yeah,
It just so happens that not everybody, especially like our friend Lawson,
yeah,
see he's a little bit older, he's a little bit wiser, he sees the world in a different way
yeah,
compared to his son, who only is going off of like what he learned at school, where their kids are telling him on the playground. And
yeah.
then he happens to meet a Jedi Padawan who, by the way, him cleaning his room was like friggin' hilarious, right? Because it was just like, oh, I'm trying to impress this girl. And
He's a fucking Jedi.
it's so funny because her demeanor is so different because of literally growing up in a war zone. We kind of forget that too. Like we talk about this all the time with Anakin, but there are so many kids out there who grew up so differently than the rest of the people, right? And
Hmm.
so her maturity level is so far in advance, not because she doesn't want to have a childhood, it's because she doesn't know any different because she was raised to fight, which is
Yeah,
exactly part of the downfall of the Jedi, right? Was that they got brought into like into a political thing where there was no right or wrong. They're talking about taxation of trade routes, which is actually really applicable to today's society with
yeah,
Trump and the tariffs. Um, and her whole life, Anakin's whole life, Ahsoka's whole life is changed by the fact that they only knew how to fight. I love I love these themes because they're so apparent. They fit in the real world, And also like it's really easy to talk about these things and just kind of realize like I completely understand why Ahsoka left the Order.
Yeah.
I don't necessarily agree with it, but what else was she supposed to do?
Well, and there was the thing with Filoni and Ashley Johnson that I saw. I don't know when it's from. Like I didn't know Ahsoka was supposed to die. Like every season, Filoni had a way that Ahsoka was gonna die
Yeah,
until he got to the Order, and it was just continuously it was Ventress. It was like, yep, it's gonna be Ventress. It's gonna be Ventress. It was gonna be Ventress. And then he finally was like, and then it was gonna be Vader and Rebels at one point, that famous scene in Rebels, and then they
right.
changed it at the very last second.
Oh, to Kanan.
Yeah.
I'm like I just think like I'm like almost at a loss for words here. The Clone Wars to me is such an integral part. Like I know they keep going back to the well, quote unquote, but like
Hmm.
there's a reason why the Clone Wars works. There are so many things you can do with it, and there are so many ramifications of how it influences later the the later shows and of course the original and sequel series. But like I think we're like I just can't get enough of the Clone Wars because it's just so impactful and like it has nothing to do with the clones. It's just like the idea of being manipulated by a single politician, the balance of power, and why do we fight, and what's worth fighting for, and is it ever just a fight? Like the philosophy behind all this stuff is really, really great, which is, I mean, these are all the kind of things that Yoda had talked about with Luke at different points in time in the movies, including, near when he actually was a Force ghost with this weird tree shit. But that's a different
Yeah.
story. Um, but all of these things make Star Wars a really important like philosophical journey, if you will, if you want it to be, right? There's a lot of there's a lot of times where it's like, it's a children's show and bullshit like that. And I'm not here to argue with you. Um, Maul has just continually impressed me because I love the fact that and I think we've talked about this before. Star Wars is really great when you take an existing idea or a concept and put it into Star Wars rather than vice versa. So all this show is gangsters, mob bosses, 1930s Chicago outfit, Bugsy Siegel or whatever, right? Only the fact is that like Pretty Boy Floyd is a Sith Lord.
Yeah.
That's it. That's all it is. Like the definition of good and evil is pretty well established. And then with Maul, you get to kind of play with some things where so what he does is evil, yes. Um, the conversations with him and Devan, haha, funny, funny,
Hmm.
are applicable because and she's starting to think about it right now. Why are we not using our power to our full advantage to help save the rest of the galaxy? Now, Darth Maul is not trying to save the galaxy, but Darth Maul he's acting in his own self-interest, which is why he's a Sith. But if you were born with powers, and I guess we can talk about this with the boys a little bit, why would you not use them if you could?
Well, exactly.
I don't know. I don't know how you feel about this. Would you like,
Well, yeah, if you had them, you'd want to use them.
would you use them as a source of good, or would you like, I don't know, like,
The dark side is a very
is a path that some deem to be
like
unnatural?
there's some, I hate to like I've always got it whenever we did like Star Wars expeditions, I always ended up as a Sith because there
Did
was
you
like
really?
yeah, because there's so many
Oh,
things in the Sith side. I'm like, yeah, I mean, it's pretty cool to have that and that. Like get lightning powers, and you get this, and you get this, and like the Jedi, it's like, well, cool, I get to talk to animals, woo, which they never
I
really
get to
do.
force heal a giant snake.
Yeah, we don't really ever see the talking to animals really canon-wise yet.
We know what we did see for the first time though,
Hmm.
or not first time, actually technically the second time, which reinforces a really cool slash weird moment in Revenge of the Sith. Remember when Palpatine confronts Kit Fisto and he hops over the desk and he does the spinning thing and he screams?
Rah!
Yeah,
Yeah.
that happened in this last episode.
Yeah, I did.
So I guess this is the second example of I don't know if it's called a Force scream or a Sith scream.
Yeah.
And the whole object of that is to disorient your opponent by doing it.
Hmm.
So you know what's funny is some of these things about Star Wars is so dumb. I cannot begin to describe how
Oh,
fucking
it's so
immature
stupid.
and but I love when the shows make it a thing.
That's Filoni for you. I think right now between Filoni and blanking on Buddy's name right now, our voice of
Favreau?
Maul,
Oh no, Sam
Whitmire,
Witwer.
Whitwer,
Witwer.
like him and Filoni were good. Like Lucas, you can rest easy because they are the biggest nerds ever of knowing every little intricacy of Star Wars that we're in good hands.
I don't trust. Okay, I only trust Filoni when it comes to like drawing in the lines with his own shit.
Yeah.
I do not. I've completely decided that I don't like Filoni when it comes to like his own creative shit. Like
Oh yeah.
I know that there are space whales and the Purgles and shit like that. Like honestly, I don't like the people that he's created, but at the
Other than
same time,
Ahsoka.
well, he had a lot of time to develop that, right? I
Yeah.
mean, if Clone Wars had got canceled after 3 seasons
Although
and
I
then
guess you could give that to Lucas still kind of too, right?
I don't
Because
know enough. Like
yeah.
either way, I just think Filoni, when he has some rules to follow, some boundaries, is the best Star Wars storyteller of our whole life ever. Not the George doesn't count, okay?
Yeah.
Um, it's when Filoni is allowed to kind of bullshit that I don't like him, which
Yeah.
is exactly like the Book of Boba Fett. Like it just kind of turned into this weird, fucking dumb, stupid shit. But oh my God, I love this show.
It's quite good. It's a bummer. Like I still don't know. Like, do we know if we have anything else on May the 4th other than the finale of this?
There's some Star Wars sets coming out.
No, but on
No,
Disney
there's no,
Plus.
there's no visions, there's no tales of unless they secret drop something.
I told you. Did I tell you my dream project for May the 4th for Tales?
No.
I want Tales of Palpatine. I want the time of him be killing Plagueis. I want that like training from
Oh,
Plagueis.
sure. Yeah, yeah, yeah.
I need that gap because there was someone there. I think I sent it to you. There's an Instagram account I follow, and it's all AI stuff, kind of recreated. But obviously the dialogue is AI, so it's kind of trash and whatnot. But I'm like, this if this was a Tales of would
Mm.
be so perfect of kind of just filling in that gap and actually seeing him be Sidious, getting trained by Plagueis, and then even kind of just going up to him, even creating the idea of being Palpatine and hiding behind the shadows and all that kind of stuff.
Well, you bring up a good point. So I guess I'll ask you this. Like, so the fandom in general, um, they speculate that the next Tales will be Tales of the Sith.
Hmm.
So we know there's going to be two stories, 3 episodes each. Which two Sith would you do?
I think it's time for Sidious.
So you want Palpatine's rise so in that case, you want
You
Plagueis.
you could even do Plagueis to start off with, and then go to Sidious.
I think Plagueis had been around for like 100 or a couple hundred years at that point. I think the Mun are really, really have a long, long, long lifespan.
Yeah,
So you want Sidious, which is great, getting plucked from being like a minor politician
I wouldn't
in
mind.
Naboo.
Grievous is not technically a Sith, right?
No,
Yeah, okay. I wouldn't mind a Tales of Grievous as
I
well.
think it'd fit. I think it'd fit though. If you just
Yeah,
said if you're like, okay, nerds, like shut the fuck up. We're doing Tales of Grievous.
yeah.
I think you'd be okay.
And there's still more Dooku I want as well. I want more Tyrannus.
The problem is like I think Tales of the Jedi was the perfect
Oh yeah.
show for Dooku.
Yeah. Um, I mean, unless you're gonna go back to like Old Republic stuff.
That's the other thing is like, do you do Revan? Do you do
Yeah,
Malgus? Do you
that's what I was
do
gonna say. Revan
Nihilus?
Revan would be the number one pick outside of Palps. But I don't know if they're gonna do that yet. When he showed up in, this is not a spoiler now because the show almost came in a year. When he showed up for like that brief moment in Lego Star Wars, I was like, "Holy shit!" Because
Hmm.
that's like the closest we've ever seen him really for anything.
It had never been confirmed up to that point,
Yeah,
which is what was
if he
kind of
was
cool.
canon,
Yeah.
yeah. So I was like,
So that was kind of cool.
and then it's funny. Last week you and I talked about Mara Jane, and then Lucas said that it'll never happen. Lucasfilm said it. Disney's been trying to get it, but for whatever reason, Lucasfilm is banning Mara Jane.
Well, because they're freaking bad at telling stories,
Yeah,
obviously, but
yeah.
that's different altogether.
But yeah.
Um,
So what about you? Who would you pick out?
if I were to do Tales of the Empire
Uh, or yeah, Sith
or
even.
Tales of the Sith, I don't think we need to do Dooku, and I think Dooku's Jedi story and
You're
him
probably right.
losing Qui-Gon is what makes the show so fucking good, right?
Yeah,
And him having to kill Yaddle, which is a really nice little twist on the canon.
yeah.
I'm okay with that. Um, doing Sidious's, I think there's a lot you could do with Sidious, so I don't know if they want to tell that story too quickly. Because you're telling me 5 years from now, they're like, oh yeah, we're gonna using the Clone Wars animation, we're gonna do Sidious's story
Yeah,
for 3 seasons.
yeah,
I'm in.
yeah,
I'm in. So save it.
yeah.
Um, I think you do Tenebris. I think you do
Mm,
Tenebris or Plagueis because Tenebris is Plagueis's master. So I think you do Plagueis actually with a little bit of Tenebris in it.
yeah.
Um, I think you do a little Kylo Ren,
Mm.
but I don't know.
So the movie that we were supposed to get and said we just do
Yeah,
animation, yeah.
yeah, yeah. Because at this, like, there's no one really to use in the sequel trilogy except for Kylo.
What was that movie
Um,
called? The one that Adam Driver had?
oh fuck,
It
I don't
was
know.
like it was like the night. It was just a
The
Ren movie,
Knights of
something like
Ren.
that. Yeah, like, and then we don't really even have a backstory of the Knights in Ren fully. I know in
That
comics,
was bull. That's bullshit.
I know we do in the comics, but like not in
No,
the
no, I can't.
movies.
Does not count. No,
Yeah,
the fact that if you can't if I can't explain to you what's a fucking Star Wars thing, it does not count.
yeah. Did you see they asked Oscar Isaac this week about somehow Palpatine returns?
Oh, didn't he just be like, oh, it was in reshoots and like I just reacted as hard as I could.
Yeah.
What's really funny, and you can agree or disagree with me if you want. In terms of the sequel trilogy, I do not blame the actors one bit.
Oh no. I actually speaking of this, I came up with this idea the other day. I don't think I ran it by you because someone was saying like there was some Reddit user or someone was asking the creators of Maul like what if you brought Maul back from the like what if like no one ever really dies for real in Star Wars? What if you brought Maul back? Everyone's like shut the fuck up. Shut the fuck up. Shut the fuck up because it was like one of the perfect Star Wars deaths, Maul, right? And even Sam
Oh, and
Witwer
Rebels?
yeah, and Sam Witwer was
Oh
even like,
yeah.
no. But I did have this idea that I wanted to run by you really quickly. It's a very nerdy idea. So obviously we have Project Necromancer that we're still kind of waiting for the payoff for, right?
Uh-oh.
Um, what if Project Necromancer wasn't just Palpatine cloning himself, but was cloning a lot of past people? So he has clones of Maul, and he has clones of Anakin, and he has all these other and Dooku, and those shadowy figures that we did see in Episode 9, those were all other clones that they had made.
Oh, all the Sith like enchantresses and stuff are all just
Yes.
clones? Eh.
Yes. And that's who, like, that whole, like, kind of in episode 9, all those people that were, like, in the crowd of the shadowy figures, those were
Right.
all the kind of the past clone, zombified to,
Hmm.
like, go for Palpatine type of thing.
that makes a fuck ton more sense than the
I
rest of the
know,
other
right?
bullshit. Like even if I
Yeah.
don't like it, even if I don't like it, which I think is a good idea. I think you're doing a pretty good job. It's better than the other shit they came up
Well,
with.
and I did. This isn't my idea. I saw this from some TikTok. I came up with that necromancer thing, so I want to put that
Okay.
on here. But I did see some Twitter users say like it would have been also much more badass. I think we and I talked about it for episode 9 when Ray has all the voices going with her. If
Yeah.
all the fucking Force ghosts would have showed up, and then when Sidious is fucking hitting the lightning there, it's all the Force ghosts at once coming back at him. And then so my point is you have all the Force ghosts there, and then as they're doing it, the kind of the lights come up. And then in
Yeah.
the back there, you have all the fucking Sith in the back there. So you're seeing Plagueis, you're seeing Maul, you're seeing Tyrannus and all that. Ventress, whatnot. I guess Ventress has changed now, but you know what I'm saying. I mean, he could have cloned the old Ventress and still be a fucking heel, right? And then that's the perfect conclusion of the whole saga there, right? Of here's all the fucking Jedi, here's all the past Sith. This is everything we fucking have built up to. They built Project Necromancer because he wanted to make sure the Sith endure forever, but the Jedi endure forever. Boom. Done.
That makes a lot more sense than the other shit we got, so I'm fine with it. Like you know what the tough part is
And not have a
there
fucking life-saving
are
kiss.
time or if you're gonna have a life-saving kiss, at least I honestly thought I still firmly believe this. Uh Kylo should have survived. And
Yeah,
the
I don't.
two of them could have
Yes.
rebuilt the Jedi together.
Exactly. I don't really ever give a fuck. Like I know people cringe at the Rey Skywalker. I don't give a shit about that. The Skywalkers were her
No.
mentors, whatever. That part never bugged me.
If she got married to fucking Ben Solo and she was
Yes.
like, "Oh, my changing my name to Skywalker," I'd be like, "Okay, that makes sense."
Yeah, but because that's the Ben the only part of episode 9, there's a few things, but the thing like the I'm the spy is stupid, but it doesn't really bug me. Samuel Palpatine returns doesn't really bug me because I think there's ways to fix all this shit. The Ben Solo dying is the one that pisses me off the most. I can forgive a lot of shit in episode 9. I can't forgive that. I think we have potentially lost audio or visual here, so I'm going to stop the recording and then due to movie magic, we'll come back up. So we had a computer crash on Devan's side. That's what we had. So I'm just going to unpause and due to the magic of technology, we'll be right back.
Thank you for listening to the Fresh Take Network. Follow us on social media platforms at Fresh Take 42.